Straight ahead on CCX, the kind of news lake property owners in Plymouth don't want to hear. A new infestation in Medicine Lake, what it is and why it's so concerning. Plus, a Robbinsdale business that's all about family. The grand opening that reminds customers of generations old and new. But first, shedding more light on the disappearance of an Osseo man. We hear from his former school. CCX News starts right now. Hello and thanks for joining us. The family of a missing Osseo man continues to hold out hope that their missing loved one will return home safe and sound.
23-year-old Robert John Quaid was last seen Friday morning at a gas station in Edina. Osseo police are asking for the public's help in finding him. Meredith Hackler joins us now with an update. Meredith?
Yeah, guys. I am here in Edina at the gas station where Robert Quaid was last seen. It's this Shell station just behind me. Now, he was seen here just before 9 a.m. and he hasn't been seen since Friday. Now, the Osseo Police Department and the Hennepin County Sheriff's Office is asking for the public's help.
I think of somebody with just a huge heart. As a matter of fact, he was voted biggest heart by his classmates when he graduated in 2014.
Robert Quaid graduated from Totino Grace High School in 2014. He was a role model for other students then and remains one today.
The thing about Robert, you show back up to this school like he would, and people are excited to see him. I think people felt invested. He was invested in our school. He was invested in other people's success, and therefore it's so easy to cheer on people like Robert. And that's why right now it feels pretty lonely. It feels pretty sad right now. Where are you, buddy?
The Osseo Police Department says people don't go missing from the area very often. And since Quaid is an adult, it makes the situation harder than if he were a child. You know, as an adult, you do have a right not to contact anybody. I mean, you know, it does make it more difficult because children are different. They are under the control of their parents. Quaid is 6'1" and weighs 220 pounds. He has brown hair and brown eyes and was last seen wearing a red shirt and black shorts. The Osseo Police Department would not say if foul play is suspected, but they did say his well-being is a concern. We're worried for his welfare, so we're going to continue to do what we can to try to find him. Quaid was driving a dark blue 2004 Lincoln Aviator with the Minnesota license plate 826TNG. His friends and family just want him home. Now, while Quaid was seen at this gas station last Friday, his cell phone did ping a cell phone tower in Medina not long after. Now, that is just west of Plymouth. Anyone with information about his whereabouts are asked to call the Hennepin County Sheriff's Office, or you can also make that tip by dialing 911. Live here in Edina, Meredith Hackler, CCX News.
Thank you, Meredith. Brooklyn Park police say they have arrested 2 people following a robbery at an AT&T store. Police say the robbery happened Friday at 10 in the morning at this AT&T store on Jolly Lane. The store was held up by 2 people, and according to police, one of them had a gun. The robbers fled in a vehicle. However, police tracked one of them down in Brooklyn Center. As we went to air, 2 suspects are in custody, but police are also looking for 2 additional people connected to this incident.
The city of Maple Grove will swear in its first police canine in over 20 years. Kalo will play a big role in helping Maple Grove police track down illegal narcotics, locate suspects, and assist in finding missing people. Kalo and his handler, Patrol Sergeant Keith Stewart, wrapped up training this past spring. Kalo was born in Poland. He's a Belgian Malinois German Shepherd mix and a welcome addition to the Maple Grove police force. First zebra mussels, now another problem for a Plymouth lake.
Medicine Lake is the first Twin Cities lake to be infested with an invasive algae called Starry Stonewort.
Reporter Eric Nelson explains what it is and why homeowners along the lake are concerned.
It's peace for me. Get away from the office.
Renee Gaudet often eats lunch on the scenic shores of Medicine Lake.
This area here is just very calming.
When Gaudet found out that 14 of the lake's 924 acres are infested with starry stonewort, she was disappointed.
And this is a beautiful lake in the metro area. So seeing that kind of invasive would be detrimental. I also kayak on the lake as well. So seeing the algae growth is concerning.
Starry Stonewort is a bright green macroalgae with tiny star-shaped bulbs. The invasive species began showing up in the U.S. in 1978 after hitchhiking rides on Great Lakes cargo ships. Almost 4 decades later, Starry Stonewort was first discovered in Minnesota waters in 2015. According to the DNR, it has now been spotted in at least 10 state lakes.
We should be able to get a handle on it, I would think. At least that's my hope.
Bill Wixon lives on Medicine Lake.
We're using it all the time. And my wife was on it yesterday with her friends. I was on a jet ski on Saturdays.
When Wixon discovered the lake was infested with Starry Stonewort, he was crushed.
It's a real negative reaction. We love the lake.
For Wixon, the lake is a gem that benefits the entire Twin Cities.
Thousands use this lake, people that live near the lake or on the lake, plus people from all over. Because it is, I believe, the second largest lake in Hennepin County.
You don't want to lose this lake because this is like a little cabin in the north in the cities.
In Plymouth, I'm Eric Nelson, CCX News.
To stop the spread, the DNR says boat owners should drain the water and clean their watercraft of any aquatic plants after leaving a lake. For more information on Starry Stonewort, you can visit our website at ccxmedia.org.
Tuesday night is a chance to get to know your neighbor a little bit better. It's National Night Out in some cities. Others call it Night to Unite. Cities like Brooklyn Center get a jump start on the festivities, holding a kickoff party tonight, Monday, at Centennial Park behind City Hall. Tuesday night, you'll see many neighborhoods holding block parties. In Robbinsdale, more than 70 block parties are registered. Robbinsdale is also hosting a police and fire open house this Saturday from 11 until 3.
And before National Night Out gets going on Tuesday night, the City of Plymouth plans to test its citywide alert system. Public safety officials will test the Alert Plymouth system at 5 p.m. on Tuesday. It allows the city to notify residents of any public safety emergency via a call, text, or email. Plymouth residents without a landline phone are encouraged to sign up for the system on the city's website. The system is strictly for public safety emergencies and is not used to relay information about weather forecasts or city events. Still ahead on CCX News, a Robbinsdale hardware store grand opening that's truly all in the family.
Plus, highlights from the final round of the last 3M Championship golf tournament. That is later in sports.
But first, summer isn't over yet. Tuesday's in the low 80s, then it turns steamy later in the week. We'll be right back.
This weekend, an old Robbinsdale business becomes new again with a grand opening.
Robbinsdale's hardware store has remodeled and expanded this year under new ownership. In this week's Business Matters, the hardware business is a family affair for the new owners of Welna Ace Hardware in Robbinsdale.
You know, a hardware store is an important part of a community.
The hardware store in downtown Robbinsdale serves as a go-to spot for many.
I come in here whenever I have a need for anything.
It's a key place to get questions answered and problems solved.
You guys doing okay?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, sounds good. Yep.
Mark Welna may be the new owner of this well-established business, but he understands customer service is king.
Everybody that comes through this door is doing us a favor. There's Amazons, there's Home Depot, there's Menards, there's other hardware stores. And so if they walk through our door, they're doing us a huge favor, and we better treat them like their family.
Give Ace Rewards.
With a family-owned hardware store in South Minneapolis since the 1950s,
Okay, thanks. Have a good day.
the Welnas are a fourth-generation hardware family.
Hi, Grandma. Just saying hi. Yeah, just saying hi.
Daughter Molly Welna helps run the Robbinsdale store. And 89-year-old Grandma Pat,
I'm proud of my whole family,
visits 3 times a week.
Furnace filters we expanded on, down plumbing. This is a huge section of the store now.
Purchasing and expanding the Robbinsdale store into the old Hirschfield's paint store space next door has provided new opportunities to increase the store's inventory.
We've expanded the paint line. We brought in Benjamin Moore. We brought in more tools. I mean, we've really just expanded, just everything.
The changes are bringing in new customers along with the regulars.
Oh, I think it's looking better all the time. It's twice as big as it used to be.
It's not quite that big, but the store's expansion is making room for a new generation of business.
I'm very grateful that they're investing in not just the future of Robbinsdale, but also me.
Molly Welna knows this store may be hers someday. That's if her 58-year-old dad retires.
You have to remember, my grandpa and grandma both worked till they were 89. My mom and dad both worked till they're 89. So I've got 31 years to go.
The hardware store along West Broadway has grand opening specials running Friday through Sunday, and you will see the Weldons, no doubt, for quite a while there.
A little bit of work ethic in that family,
Yes.
I think.
Still ahead, a one-of-a-kind party in Maple Grove.
But first, highlights from the State American Legion baseball tournament as Wayzata looks to keep the season going. Jay Wilcox is in next.
I'm Jay Wilcox with sports. A new era begins next summer for golf fans in the Twin Cities as a PGA Tour event comes to the TPC course in Blaine. The bad news, though, that means the Champions Tour event for players age 50 and over goes away. The final 3M Championship featured a former champ showing his best once again. Here's a final round recap. After a sizzling 60 Saturday, Kenny Perry looks to walk away with his third win at the 3M Championship. But his 5-shot lead takes some hits. Glenn Day playing in the final group with Perry with a great approach on the 7th hole. His ensuing birdie pulls him within a shot of a suddenly faltering Perry. Tom Gillis is right on the money with the birdie putt on the 6th hole. He ends up in a tie for third with Day after shooting 3 straight 67s. Perry rights the ship to close the front 9 as this long downhill putt drops for birdie on number 9 as he looks to extend the lead again. Wes Short Jr. throws the biggest challenge. He shoots a final round 63 to take second solo at 18 under. Maybe the shot of the day. Scott Perrell, after sailing it into the bleachers, closes in style. He chips in for eagle on 18 and ties for 10th place at 12 under. Lee Jansen knocks down a birdie putt on the 6th hole. He's in the 60s all 3 rounds and ties for 5th at minus 13. Minnesota native Tom Lehman ties for 10th before getting started on the redesign of the TPC course for the new PGA Tour event. But in the end, it's Perry's show again. He nails a big putt on the 16th for birdie to calm his nerves and set himself up for the win. Knowing the tournament is his unless something strange happens, Perry plays it safe on the 18th hole and puts away another birdie to finish at 21 under. It's his third 3M title played in the last Champions Tour event in Blaine.
I didn't want to give it away. My goal was to make pars, make them come catch me. I knew I had a 5-shot lead over Glenn Day and I was 8 up over the rest of the field. So I knew if I shot par, they were going to have to shoot 8 or 9 under to catch me most of the field. It's sad to know I'm not going to be coming back here to play a Champions event anymore. But I will come back next year and play the PGA event.
Perry pockets $262,500 for the victory. The redesign of the TPC course is getting started early this week to make it tough enough for PGA Tour standards. The American Legion baseball season is in the books for most local teams, but Wayzata is not done yet after a strong showing at the state tournament. They faced Eden Prairie in a winner's bracket game. Wayzata jumps to an early lead as Brennan Albert grounds a base hit up the middle. It scores Charles Engdahl for a 1-0 lead in the bottom half of the first. Nick Krinke follows with a line drive single to center. It scores Albert, and it's quickly a 2-0 advantage for Wayzata. Still in the first inning, and Keegan Nickel rips a base hit to right field to bring Krinke home. Not a bad way to start the game. Wayzata gets 3 in the first to lead it 3-0. Peyton Gallagher continues Wayzata's string of well-pitched games. He gets the strikeout here on Grant Randall. And his defense is strong behind him, too. Tyler Donahue hits a sinking liner for Eden Prairie, but watch Engdahl get to it for the great catch to take away a potential run-scoring hit, and it stays 3-0. Wayzata stretches the margin in the second as Albert drives the ball down the line in right field toward the corner. Delaney Dahl sprints around to score from first. It's 5-0 Wayzata through 2 innings. Gallagher is touched for a solo home run, but he stays in command. He gets Mitchell Olson swinging here to keep the lead at 5-1. And their defense remains strong too. Shortstop Nickel charges hard and throws the runner out. as Wayzata wins this one 8-1. They also beat Tri-City Red Saturday, but then lost to Tri-City 16-8 in the championship. Both teams, though, advanced to regional play this week in Dickinson, North Dakota. Little League players gathered in Robbinsdale for the Wood Bat Tournament that benefits baseball in Benin. Lee Park, the site, as Robbinsdale faces St. Louis Park at 11 and 12-year-old play. Bottom of the first, Park's Orioles with 2 runners on, but Grayson Rennie gets the strikeout for Robbinsdale. Top of the third, Anton Farr powers the base hit to center to bring Tanner Roush around for a 3-0 Robbins lead. Robbinsdale gets another run in the third when Nolan Laurent hustles home on this wild pitch to make it a 4-0 lead. In the 6th inning, St. Louis Park gets 2 runners on, but Farr snags the ground ball and steps on first to end the game as Robbinsdale wins it 4-1. And that Robbinsdale team went on to win the championship over Coon Rapids DeVries 3-2 in the final. Northland won the 10-year-old division, and a Coon Rapids team took the 9-year-old title. The visiting team from Benin in Africa won the consolation game in the 11 and 12-year-old bracket. CCX News continues in a moment.
And finally, a Maple Grove shopping center really went to the dogs this weekend.
A rainy Saturday could not dampen spirits as the shops at Arbor Lakes played host to a fundraiser with a unique name.
Today is our 6th annual Woof-a-Pawlooza event.
Everywhere you look, it's dogs.
Just a great way to get people out and give them some information.
Dogs and pirates? Well, yeah, pirates are here too. We're not sure why, but the focus of Woof-a-Pawlooza is dogs, and it's all part of a fundraising event for a local foster dog group.
We have foster families that take the dogs into their home. And then we work with a lot of the same, like Adopt a Pet and Pet Finder, to list the dogs.
Good Karma covers all fostering expenses for the 25 or so dogs in its system, including food and vet care. That's pricey, and today's $15,000 income from booth rentals will go a long way toward making sure Good Karma can stay on mission.
Really helps fill our coffers. We can cover those medical expenses.
The foster program doesn't just help the dogs, it makes people pretty happy too.
It feels good knowing that you've made a difference for these animals, and seeing them go to loving homes is really, it's just a great feeling.
And if you missed this weekend's fun, they will be back next year, the first weekend of August. If you'd like to help out before then by donating or volunteering to foster a dog, check out Good Karma's website at goodkarmamn.org. A good time despite the rain.
Absolutely.
All right. That's all the time we have for now. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
We'll see you back here again on Tuesday, starting at 4 o'clock.